Greetings. That's broadcast. Brought to you by Absolute Insanity. Yeah, that noise in the back yesterday, it was the door that closed. It didn't close all the way and it got windy. It was kind of suspicious why that happened. So, yeah, it's probably some, anyway, intervention from somebody else. All right, so this is Pleiadian world around us. Basically, it's a Pleiadian update. There's some kind of whatever needs to come through that just felt their energies. I don't normally feel lies different beings anymore so much. You know, the popular ones. So some people are beating to death, like the Arcturians, and of course I'm gonna do the Arcturian energies at the end because there's something there. So, Matrix break in India. I hope I spelled India right. I think so. Let me check that. I think so. I don't know. I can't think. Anyway, close. Yeah, it didn't spell right. Nope, didn't spell. Yeah. No. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, for the slums of India. So I'm not sure where this is gonna go. Like an energy attack or what? So the slums of India, I'll show pictures of it. It seems like that's where our reality is not so strong. That's where it's weak. And the slums of India is also where lower dimensional beings come through. So obviously they make it kind of impossible for that area to improve. So demons can incarnate here. Not to say everybody there is a lower dimensional person, not at all. Some people just can't get out of there. And some people that live in the slums are going through karma for various different reasons. So there's that. But the slums of India is where I feel like we'll just call it the Matrix isn't that strong. Where its power is actually felt pretty weak there, actually. And I was really surprised that I tapped into something. I was really surprised I felt that. I was like, is it just me picking this up, or is this I'm making things up? But it feels like it's real. Yeah, it's just not strong there. Like in New York City, it's pretty strong. Even if it's at a lower vibration, it's keeping the reality going. But the slums are all beat up and broken down. It's kind of like this is what hell looks like, you can say. But they're trying to keep a good show for most of these places to keep us locked into this reality. There's also Thailand. Bangkok is the same thing. It has a lot of Arcturian energies. Even Thailand felt like, now that's not the slums of it, but there's probably slums there somewhere. That's another place where I feel like the vibration's a lot different. So where the Matrix isn't that strong there. So there's other places around. I was just kind of surprised about India picking up on that because India's been through a lot of stuff. It has highs and lows and a little bit of it's just kind of a war zone. I mean, I'm surprised the news is even reporting on them, to be honest with you. I mean, why not just cover it up altogether what's happening there? So, but because of India and its past of all these aliens and the mythology and all that crazy, and then and it's not exactly the safest place in the world either. So it depends on where you are, of course. So yeah, it's like one of the number one domestic violence towards women there. So yeah, it's kind of a scary place if you know what you're doing, but it's probably not so bad. But anyway, we're going to tap into those energies. The Matrix, India, connect to the consciousness of India and see what I can get from that. Probably the gods of India or something like that. I don't remember all the gods. I know some of them. Shambhala. Isn't that... wrong. Not there yet. Let's see this first. Wrong one. Avatar.com, we have private sessions. We have the shop here. I'm on May 9th. Same situation here. Webinar, social network. I don't know if I posted. I don't know how to get rid of that. Rabbit, behind the scenes, and dating site. And go into topic of the day. So we got Bangkok. Am I going backwards? Yeah, Thailand. I'm going backwards. So the slums of it looks really nice. It can only always be worse somewhere. I guess their water is it's just disgusting. People think they got problems and they look at, I mean, you get in a situation where you can't get out of there. So, yeah. So this is where it feels like the vibrations, the reality is not so, meaning that anything, I mean, reptilian beings can show up, anything can show up. I don't know if it's showing up there. Obviously, I'm not there, but I imagine you can, on a vibrational level, if you're at a higher vibration, you go to a place like that, I imagine your third eye will give you something. Maybe give you an energy attack, but also you'll be imagine you can see quite a bit there from what I'm gathering. So yeah, it's pretty much hell, pretty much. So it ignored for the most part. And of course, the rest of India, the Mumbai, and that's in Mumbai. And this looks a little dystopian to some degree, but this is a financial capital, but they also have the slums there too. So they have nice, and then they have slums. So, yeah, and this stuff keeps the vibrations going. But obviously they can't keep it going completely because they have to show, hell on earth basically. And Bangkok was tapping into that, full out of Arcturian energies. Of course, I've looked at this before in the past, but kind of revisiting it just feels like, at least that's the side that's speaking at this, a lot of Arcturian vibrations there. So tap into that and see what we go on get from see what we go from there. So yeah, it's different. Cats are here, they're sleeping quiet. Yeah, welcome to my world. I tell you, picking up all what I go through. So yeah, it's quite heavy here. So all right, so Pleiadians, like I said, I don't normally tap into Pleiadian energies, but yeah, here and there. On this Pleiadian kick, like some people are, or our training kick. I'd go into more with the Syrians, really popular ones, Syrians and felines. Yeah. Anyway, okay, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings to you. This is Nathaniel, the tall blonde Nordics, Pleiadian Nordic beings. Greetings. We want to speak about Sweden and Switzerland, but mostly Sweden is where a Pleiadian energy is to heal. Pleiadian energy is like our headquarters, you could say. Yes, we're in Norway, but that's more of a military area because it's connected to your North Pole, at least it's close to it to a certain degree. And even Greenland, of course, is a little bit distant from that, but Sweden is where you can connect to the Pleiadian vibrations without, of course, Pleiadian, Sweden has a lot of difficulties, of course. But if you go to a place like Sweden, and that's where the Pleiadian headquarters is, at least in the higher astral realms, different dimensions, and that has problems. That shows you that, this world is having trouble evening itself. It shows that even when we arrive on our ships, we get instantly attacked by this planet. So showing ourselves isn't exactly the easiest thing. especially when we're dealing with other dimensional beings that don't want us here. There is a lot of Archon energy here. Basically, they Archon beings or beings that are connected to Archon timelines, you know, they have a timeline planned out, and a Pleiadian is not involved with it. Unless there's one that they can control, then they're all for it. It's mostly about war and the Earth's vibration, for humans to forget themselves, for basically to stay in this level forever. As long as it takes. They don't. It's because they're pulling on the low vibration. Well, when a being loses its power, goes into a negativity form, it needs more food. So when you lose your power, so if we'll just use the Archons for example. Obviously, this goes for any lower dimensional being. It all depends on the being, of course, too. But a lot of them that lose their higher dimensional energy, they go into a low vibration. So they have to constantly pull people's energies down to feed off of them, to regenerate, to give them energy, give them life. There's different ways of looking at that, but that's why the world is always negative. It's always pulling on the low vibrations. Yeah, the future's horrible. Everything's going to go to hell. That's them working to keep people at a low vibe frequency. Obviously, somebody's going to get mad anyway just because you want to break off from their timeline and go to a more positive timeline. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, they're basically stalkers, you can say. Stalkers on all different levels. It's all sophisticated for some to tap into, but they're everywhere. As you can see. Of course, they've infiltrated medias and all that, of course. And even those, of course, in the media have sold themselves out, so they're like puppets, just like your political people. The puppet masters, it's a puppetry on all levels. Of course, you can always break that. Obviously, the lifestyle is not so exciting, but there are ways around it. Basically, not to sell your soul. So you're here. Many of you are here to break those old contracts. The old timeline. So your belief system currently is like you don't want to control anybody. You don't want this control system to come in. You don't want any of this reality to continue on. The fear reality. So you wonder what your mission is here. It's just you're planting your energy. You're seeding it. You're bringing your codex here to break away from all these old society thinkings. And obviously, it's not going to be easy because you're like on a whiteboard and you're clearing out the old vibrations. You're doing it on a daily basis. That's why some of you are so worn out. That's why you're sleeping all the time. Also, because you're worn out, you're clearing out the old timelines. And this is why star seed beings are scattered all over the world, of course, because if you're all in just one place, that one place becomes nice. Everything else sucks. It's good for you to be scattered across the world to, help the world. Of course, there's a lot of energies in Russia. Russia is an interesting place because Russia, they get a lot of, heat, but they can actually open up alien contact today, tomorrow, because they have a kind of like it is still kind of communist there to a certain extent, but it's like, okay, everybody, here the aliens are here, take it or leave it. You're going to take it, and that's just the way it's going to be. That's Russia. China works with the aliens secretly, but Russia would be an easy first contact place. Obviously, they're not going to do it, but they could be easily. Now, would anybody believe it? Who really cares anyway? But they just have the right type of formula there. China uses alien technologies through the black government. Obviously, the United States is under low vibration. A lot of their food, the United States and the food is under war, is under attack. You attack the food, you attack the people. So that's exactly, and obviously they're going to shut things down on multiple levels. It's hard to think when your food supply is already kind of manipulated on all different levels. That's why some of you move to different countries or different places where the food is better. So these little details will come out over time. The third dimension is going to start going. Now, I wouldn't say in the higher fourth dimension, it's going to find the fourth dimension slowly. As third dimensional idea systems start to break down. You're seeing that now with UFO knowledge. Nothing heavy is going to come in with that just now. Just, yes, government propaganda. Government propaganda setting agendas. We're not seeing a lot coming out. We just see media getting behind this whole UFO agenda. This is the government program. And it's to see where it's going to go. We're not seeing it go very far, but it will lead to the real aliens eventually. Now, the timeline of that is not very clear. So, one thing of resetting one's soul, one's energy is connecting to the sun, or connected to anything where you feel, or just sleep. Sleep is just a reset in astral. Some of you, obviously, when the physical gets heavy, you just take a nap, you go to sleep, and you go into astral and you connect to your higher vibrational self. You recharge your higher vibrational self, and you come, from the spirit realm, and you come back in your body, and your body is rejuvenated. So it doesn't mean you're fully aware of what's going on, but it helps you open up to more of the details that are going on this planet. Yeah, little disclosures here and there. You're always opening up a little door. Everybody is, to a certain extent. Those that want to. Those that are, you're opening up little vibrational doors for knowledge, downloads, as you see. The door is actually very small. Like it's a little download, but it can go a long way. Just little hair. A hair can go along. It goes a long way on your head, doesn't it? So just a little bit of information can be a sentence. You can take a sentence and then channel more into it for a download and of the vibration of it. It's kind of like growing. Ideas are like trees. You like seeds, and you put out the right vibration, and then the earth awakens. Obviously, a few words can open up your reality instantly. Those words are not being said right now, but where you can actually go into the fourth dimension quite quickly, some of you. Of course, the earth will change, because if you're exploring different parts of your world in a different way, looking at life differently, it's like you're skipping a few chapters in life and going more to a higher dimensional idea system. That's not for everybody, but some of you feel like you're skipping lessons and going to a higher frequency, and that's what's happening. Greetings to you. We are the consciousness of India. India, we are your kind of like, yes, a laboratory of different realms and realities. We are connected to Shambhala. Shambhala is on your, you can't hear about Agartha, but Shambhala is here through India. Yes, there are slum energies here to keep at a low biofrequency. But India can easily turn to a fifth, sixth, seventh dimensional area instantly. But the slums are keeping it at a low frequency. India has never been normal. You look at their mythology. It's the aliens just wanted to, it's a doorway into the other realms. It's a part of awakening if you wish to be awakened. So it doesn't mean you have to go deep into Indian culture, but just have to, it's coded, every place, everything is coded with light codes, matrix codes to keep your reality shut down. But if you wish to be awakened, going deeper, there are places that, like India, of course, it's like everything, every city, every country has a little secret about it. and each of you are there to find it. So yes, the slums are a breakdown into yes the war realms. Well, it shows. Well, yeah, it's a gateway for war dimensional beings to get here faster. The lower the Earth's vibration, lower dimensional beings crawl in. Obviously, it's throughout the country. That's why you have your cities that are not very safe. Some of your cities. So lower dimensional beings can incarnate here without anybody noticing. Of course, they come incarnate in human form. They might be troublesome problems. Oh, that person's just a problem. That's all. Of course, a lot of Indian people are kind of a problem too. Well, they get influenced by lower dimensional beings easily. Some of you have experienced that. It's this culture. It's for the lower realm because India in its past hit essential level of higher dimensional energy. It was like it was too much for the world, so it took a dive down. Part of it did, not all of it. So you can say India has been kind of weaponized towards its people. So yes, there's a lot of possessed people there. Some of you have noticed. There are also advanced people, but also that's where a lot of your Illuminati lower dimensional beings incarnate to also. So set agendas. They go instantly for the money, usually through the banks. So yes, your stock market is your Illuminati hangout, your hub, how to rule the planet. Obviously, I'll make it completely clear, but your stock market is a lot of codes and programming for society, how to think, survival, keep you on survival mode for right now, at least. As you are breaking more of this survival, basically, the key to unlocking your Earth is yes, keep investigating, breaking through your matrix energy. People might not believe it, but yeah, what are you believing? What are you seeing? Do you see your continents all in different places? You see New York City somewhere else. You see your world different. Like if you tap into a different reality. Because this one, all the continents, everything is placed where it can control you at this vibration. So if you take New York City and put it in China, the vibration changes. Not a bad thing. Good luck on doing that. But it's if you move it, yeah, it's at the Earth is at such a frequency, it just allows these lower dimensional energies to come through. So if you start shaking things up, that's why Earth changes aren't always all that bad. Any changes sometimes good. Earthquakes help with that, but they're very careful with earthquakes, not to get too intense, because people have their lives. You got to be careful with that. But there will be a time when you just. There might be a time in your future either you just sink all of the continents underwater and just redo everything. So your world is not recognizable ever again. So this program doesn't happen ever in any way, form. Because some of you, if you tap into another reality, another planet, for that example, it's like, oh, you see China there, you see Italy. Oh, guys, they're doing the same thing you're doing here. So I know it's a little bit out there, but yeah. When you're copying manipulation, you see all the energies of it. You can move it to another world. Yeah, it's like putting a lock on the planet. It's like once you put that energy there, it's hard for beings to find themselves again. It's like being suffocated. Guess we said too much. Greetings to you. We're all the Arcturians. Your Thailand connection. Thailand, yes, is actually in your past was a place of giants. I don't believe it's in the mythology, far as we know, but there are many giants there, many genetic and engineered beings that are at a higher vibrational source. Of course, your temples there, the high vibrational temples that you see, the larger ones, yeah, they connected to the higher astral realms to bring a balance. So you have India was at a some of it as at a low vibration. So you have Thailand or Bangkok as a way of just bringing in more of a positive frequency. Obviously, Thailand is not perfect either. There is a lot of magicians there. There's a lot of magic happening, even in India to a certain extent, but mostly Thailand. And not necessarily they're Arcturian, but they're from different realms. So it's another way of activating yourself, of connecting to these certain places of the world that you feel connected to. Some of you are already doing it, connected to England, connected to just anywhere. And you'll feel the vibrations around you just begin to shift. You find yourself, many of you are on a scavenger hunt to figure yourselves out. What are you on spirit? What is your mission here? Obviously, there's going to be little hints here and there because the world can only handle so much. But you're here, yes, to bring more, yes, UFO energies, basically energies from the higher dimensions to change your world's frequency. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a UFO. It can be just earth changes, weather changes, just magic in the air, basically. Sometimes people don't see, some of you are seeing these things in your third eye. Yes, all those things are real, majority of them at least. Moving things around. Anomalies is what makes your world, moves things along, behind the scenes. So, because people aren't ready for an alien physically. If that was the case, you have little green people running around easily, or grays. They, as long as there's no guns around, they wouldn't mind it so much. They'd be around you just like your animals are around you, just curious. They're not an animal. Of course, your animals are aliens anyway. They can basically help you understand your alien friends or your animal friends very easily. But he's like, wow, my dog is my brother. Or your cat's your wife from a past life. Things like that to help you remember things. Little things here and there. So yes, we do recommend you having inviting an alien to your home one day to help you basically figure yourselves out. Obviously, that hasn't happened at a higher frequency just yet, but removing the fear here is a little bit difficult. Well, your government, your reptilian government, Anunnaki government, there's all types of beings, of course. Yes, all your governments are all alien. I think you have some idea of that. Alien groups are not necessarily for your convenience. Agendas are done there. So all your government buildings, not just military, but government buildings are positive aliens there, but also the negative ones are there. Obviously, the negative ones are making the most out of their power. And they don't see it as darkness is what they're doing, but even if it is. Yeah, some of them have lost their minds. They don't care. Usually the ones that have completely lost their minds are normally some kind of, creature type of being. Where to them that's normal. Yeah, I mean, literally, they're humanoid, but they're kind of monster looking. I think some of you have seen that. Yes, Queen of England, for example. I'm not going to go into details of that. But let you put the pieces together yourself. Blessings.